If you've watched my video on St. George's Park, you'll know that that's where my wife Dita and I started out. Well, this is where we went next, Holy Rosary. And if you ask most people who live here, they won't even tell you that it's not officially named Holy Rosary on a map. It's something completely different. But they'll just say, I live in Holy Rosary. I'm Andrew Somerville from the DNA Homes team, and today we're walking through Holy Rosary, the neighborhood, the homes, and the 5 years plus that we spent living here ourselves. So let's get into it. Quick reminder before we dive in, if you're relocating to Guelph from the GTA or somewhere else, I've put together a free Guelph relocation guide covering neighborhoods, pricing, commute times, and schools. The link's in the description below. It's free, so go grab it. Now let's talk Holy Rosary. Holy Rosary isn't technically an official neighborhood name. It's named after Holy Rosary Catholic Church, which sits right on Emma Street in the heart of this area. But ask anyone who's lived here for more than a year what neighborhood they're in, and they'll all say Holy Rosary, every time. It's one of those names that the community gave itself, and it's stuck because it fits. This is a neighborhood built largely between the 1960s and 1980s. So we're talking about mature trees, established streets, and a real sense of permanence. The homes here tend to be larger than what you'll find in some of Guelph's other established areas, and the architecture has personality. Cathedral ceilings, angled roof lines, lots that are not perfectly squared off. You notice it the moment that you start walking the streets. No two homes look quite the same. That late century architectural creativity is all over this neighborhood. After St. George's Park, Dita and I moved to Holy Rosary, and we ended up staying there for just over 5 years. One of my favorite things about this neighborhood is that evening walks here are genuinely an experience. You're not just walking to get somewhere, you're walking and looking up at these homes, admiring the roof lines, the additions, the little architectural quirks that someone clearly put a lot of thought into decades ago. We actually bought our home on Tamarack Place, which is a small little cul-de-sac right by Holy Rosary Church. And like a lot of the homes on the street, it has a pool in the backyard. Pools are common in this neighborhood and is part of the character. And speaking of Tamarack, a lot of the streets in this neighborhood are named after trees: pine, balsam, walnut, tamarack. There's something about that just adds to the feel of this place. It feels rooted, mature, like the neighborhood grew alongside the trees that it's named after. We lived there until our daughter Mila was born, and then we made our next move, but I'll save that story for another video. For families, Holy Rosary has strong school options right inside the neighborhood. Holy Rosary, obvious draw for Catholic school families who want their kids within walking distance. Edward Johnson French Immersion School is also in this community, which is a significant draw for families prioritizing French immersion education. Having both of these options inside the neighborhood itself is a real advantage, and not every Guelph neighborhood can say that. Here's something that I want to be straight with you about. Yes, you can walk to downtown Guelph from Holy Rosary, but it's not a quick stroll. You're looking at about a 30 to 40 minute walk, and depending on which direction you're walking, you're either descending or climbing a fairly serious hill. I used to run that hill regularly, saving it for the very end of my route on purpose. And let me tell you, it was a workout. Realistically though, you'll find yourself driving way more often than walking for your day-to-day errands and downtown trips. But it's nice to have that option, because some neighborhoods don't even give you that choice. Let's talk numbers. Because Holy Rosary tends to offer larger homes than a lot of Guelph's other mature neighborhoods, the pricing reflects that. Detached homes here typically range from the high 800s to the $1.5 million range, depending on the lot size, renovation level, and whether the home has a pool. Homes with pools, larger lots, or significant updates will sit at the higher end of that range. Original condition homes from the 60s, 70s, and 80s can offer real value if you're willing to update over time. And we do see infill construction here, but usually at the higher end. Inventory here moves steadily, and like St. George's Park homes, they sell fairly quickly and for good prices. You might still find some older homes that have original owners and also come with original carpet. But mostly they've been updated at least once or even twice along the way. Holy Rosary tends to attract a specific kind of buyer. Families who want more space than the older central neighborhoods offer without giving up that mature tree and established feel. Buyers who appreciate architectural character, cathedral ceilings, unique roof lines, homes with personality. Catholic school families and French immersion families, especially given that the schools are located right in the community. And buyers who want a pool or the option of one. This neighborhood has more of that than most. If you're someone who values evening walks where you actually enjoy looking at the homes around you, this neighborhood delivers that in a way that is hard to find elsewhere in Guelph. As always, here's the real talk. This is a more car-dependent neighborhood for most day-to-day life. Downtown is walkable, like I said, but it's a genuine walk, not a quick 5 minutes. If walkability to shops and restaurants is your top priority, you'll want to weigh that hill into your decision. Homes from this era can also have dated mechanical systems, furnaces, roofs, pools that may need updating. Although from my experience, most people in this neighborhood really take care of their stuff. A proper home inspection matters here just as much as anywhere else. And because lots are often unsquared or irregular, it's worth understanding exactly what you're getting in terms of a usable space before you commit. Not a downside necessarily, just something that you want to go in informed about. Holy Rosary is where Dita and I spent over 5 years building our life together, right up until our daughter Mila came along and we made our move into what I call kid mode. That's a whole different video and it's coming soon. If Holy Rosary sounds like it might be your kind of neighborhood, start with the free Guelph relocation guide in the description. And when you're ready to talk specifics, what's on your mind, what your budget gets you here, what to look for in a home in this era, reach out. Call, text, or email. There's no pressure, just real conversation. I'm Andrew Somerville from Dita and I Homes, and I'll see you on the next one.